Hey, welcome to the Just Never Know podcast. I'm your host, Ron Frazier, and welcome for joining me. It's been a while. I've moved from Charleston to Florida, and lots happened. Really involved with the move. Of course, everybody knows when you move, you get involved. Got here, bought a house, sold a house, bought a house. Got my little guy into school. It's been quite the change. Then we had hurricanes. So then we had to go through that whole episode. But hey, we're glad to be back. Today, I'm joined by my good friend, David Vann Williams will be joining us today as my co-host today. How you doing, Dave?
How's it going? I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good, buddy. It's good to hear your voice. It's been a while since we've been on set together for sure.
Oh my goodness, it's been such a long time, and I guess this is your first year missing gemstones.
It was. And I'll tell you, I definitely missed it. Seeing all those people and being a part of that, and to go 3 episodes and then not be able to do the fourth one was really frustrating, and it
Yeah.
bothered me. It really did. And I'm when you really get used to the people and the whole production after 3 years, everybody's become a family. And yeah, I did miss it, buddy. How about you?
Yeah. It was a long one. I was offered a couple of times to go, but I had uh some some conflicting appointments,
Right,
so I couldn't do it, but you know, there's always season 5.
right, right. I hope. Are they planning on coming back season 5?
Nothing's been said yet. They just finished filming probably 2 weeks ago,
Very
so
good, very good.
it'll be
Hey,
out in the spring.
good deal. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be different not
Yes.
seeing myself on there, but hey, I'm gonna love watching. But I'm gonna love watching my friends on there, David. Oh
Yeah,
man.
there you go.
Hey, before the gemstones, though, you were doing some nice film projects there.
Yeah. I had a couple of good ones. Mr. Mercedes, being a juror on that, and Mr. Mercedes season 2. I was in the opening scene when they were bringing Brady into the emergency room. Uh, I, and also Escape from Dannemora. Ben Stiller directed that one, and that was a Showtime series. And I got some good screen time with that because Ben Stiller found out that I was in Fame, the original movie Fame, with his mother.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah. So I the story with this is the corrections officer's guy that he was on set to say, no, you can do this. This is how corrections officers do stuff. So I introduced myself to him uh, since the state police work with corrections. And we started talking, and I told him about Ben being in Fame with Ben's mother. And he said, oh, wow, you should tell him. He'll like that. I said, I'm not going up to the director. So he told him, he told him. And the next day, well, that was on a Friday. The following Monday, when we were filming, we did a couple of takes, and I was positioned in a good place to get some screen time. And then they were setting up again, and then Ben came out, and he shook my hand and said, "You were in Fame with my mom?" And I said, "Yeah, I was." He was like, "Really?" And then we talked about Fame. And then I said, and I knew that he came to one of my performances because my mother, being the good stage mother, she always watched my performance. And she saw that Ben Stiller's parents were out in the audience. So I told him, I said, my mom said that your parents came to see me in Shenandoah. Um, he said, "You were in Shenandoah with John Cullum?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, and I said, "Yes." And your parents came to see me. He said, "Oh my God!" After we went to see that play, my sister and I, we acted your performance with Donna Theodore. We sang Freedom all in our living room all the time.
Oh my
So
God.
that was pretty funny. And after that, I he placed me in some very good positions. I would get called in, and then one of the PAs would come over and grab me and put me in front of the camera.
It's a
So
small world,
that.
man.
Yeah, yeah. Just just going ahead and telling him that information, he got real excited, and here's Ben Stiller telling me that when he was little, he was trying to be me. So that was a good time. So that was one of my back to the acting stories.
80s together, gemstones, of course. And I tell you what, I just put a post the other day on there about Mr. Mercedes. That's when I really got to know people.
We were filming both. We were filming both Mercedes and Gemstones together, and we were just shuffling, and that's where we had probably the whole month of May every day being together. So we formed bonds.
Yeah. Well, we were spent a lot of time. I mean, you were in a jury that we were in court quite a bit every day.
Yes, yes.
Oh my. Uh, hold on a second. Hello,
Hello, Mr. Ron Frazier. I am telling you I'm calling. This is Bombo Kashmir from customer service.
Kashmir.
Bombo Kashmir from customer service.
Okay.
Did you recently place an order with us?
Somebody might have.
Who placed the order? I'll tell you. Can you give me the last four digits of your social security number?
6969.
69. Good number. I like the women too, my friend. I like the women too. Okay. How about your date of birth?
Oh, 1101.
You're a young man.
Yeah.
Young man. Very little. I'll tell you.
Oh goodness. Who are you out scamming today?
Yes, sir. I'm scamming. I'd like all your banking information, your name of your firstborn, your mother's maiden name.
Okay.
I need to buy more camels, my friend. I do not have enough camels.
You don't have enough camels?
No, I do not have enough camels today.
How many wives you got?
I've got 7 wives.
You only need how many kids you got?
Oh, too many to count.
Oh, then you probably need more camels.
More camels to transport the family.
Yeah. They race? They race?
No, camel chunky racing. No, sir. No, we do not do that.
Okay. All right. All right. So, am I keeping you from scamming somebody else today?
Yes. I need to go since you did not give me the information provided.
Oh, mister, I'll tell you what. Well, hey, if you ever need help or you need a little psychology talking to, hey, feel free to call back there.
I will call you again to try to get more camels.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much for calling.
Have a wonderful day, my friend.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. All right, there you go. Now that actually wasn't that actually wasn't a scammer. That was our good friend David Lance. He does voiceovers and such. That was great.
Excellent, excellent, excellent job. Excellent job.
Yeah. Well, I do get a lot of them scam calls, man. And I'll tell you what, I'm actually trying to figure
Oh
out how to
man.
educate people. Do not give your personal information and all that. Oh my gosh. And it's just, they really, really try to get vulnerable senior citizens. And it's
Yes.
irritating, you know.
Yes, that's horrible. It's horrible how they can find out who you are and know things about you before they call you to scam you.
How you doing, Natalie?
Hey, how are you guys doing? Good morning.
Good
Good.
morning. Good morning.
Hey, David, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? You got some exciting things going on?
So, I shot a short film on Sunday. It has to do with human trafficking. It's called Jayden. Um, I was able to shoot it all in one day because I had the mental fortitude, to actually see what I wanted to get on film. I think I'm one of the few directors that doesn't do 50 takes for one scene. I'm really actually excited about it. I've gotten in the last 3 days about 6 minutes of editing done, and it's just looking amazing. So I'm really excited.
That is so exciting to hear. I see that you post things on Facebook about it this week, and I was like, yeah, go girl, go girl, go girl.
That's a big undertaking. That's a big undertaking, the whole thing. And now you're finding out the editing part. We were talking about that yesterday about the editing.
Yeah, I mean, it could be um, mind-boggling to say the least. It's kind of hard to do more than 3 minutes in an 8-hour period because your mind just, it gets so overwhelmed that by the end of 8 hours and you're looking down and it's only 3 minutes, but then you play back those 3 minutes and it's like, oh man, that's freaking amazing. You know?
Did I do this? Did I do this? That's right.
Yeah, did I do that?
Well, what inspired you to do this?
Well, so the beginning part of Jayden is actually something that happened to me back in 1996. I was chilling out in downtown Charleston, and I was approached by a couple of guys in a car, and I was kidnapped and raped at gunpoint. If it wasn't for God putting the words in my mouth at the time, and I'm sorry, I don't want to tear up, but it's been a really hard process getting all of that down on film and reliving it in a sense. But I also know that this is something that God wants me to do because it's a way to get the past and the demons out, and it's also a public service announcement for most women, especially nowadays when everybody is just looking down at their phones and not really paying attention to what's going on. Um, so the beginning part of it is actually something that happened to me, and then I went on to divulge more into human sex trafficking because that is something that is prevalent and no one's talking about it. No one's really like on board with, what's going on with this stuff because it's usually men of power, women of power that, have the reins and do this type of stuff. So I think that the more shorts, the more film that can be done um, that has to do with human trafficking. Right now, it's essential. so that we don't lose our kids, so that we don't lose our sisters and, just people. Because it's not only women, it's also men, it's also boys. As a matter of fact, this is part one. It's called Jayden. Part two is called Christopher. And I won't go into it much, but he's 9 when he gets taken. After this, after Christopher, after I do Christopher, I actually want to start delving into the crisis that is going on now with fentanyl and just the way that it is taking our youth and making them into unrecognizable zombies, really. So I think that my filmmaking has more to do with trying to instruct people and show people what's really going on in the world today, instead of them paying attention to a bunch of BS, like with politics and and P Diddy and just stuff that, it's so relevant. It's not anything that, I mean, politics, yeah, the next president, that might have something to do with us linearly, but if you really want to delve down into what's really messing up, society and the world, you got to start making films that touch those subjects.
So you're changing. See, that's what I like about it. Your approach is change the world without letting the world change you. That's the impression I'm getting, and making a difference. And it probably has to be a little therapeutic for you, dealing with it, making it, and then even though you're reliving that harshness, but it's probably a little bit of therapy, maybe self therapy.
It is. It is. The last Sunday when I finished filming and the last person left, I
Unknown
actually,
caller.
sorry, I actually wasn't able to fall asleep until Monday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because of all the trauma that was going on in my head. Um, and I cried. I'm not gonna, lie. It really did break me down. I mean, it's something that was really tumultuous, to say the least. It was scary. It was the scariest things I've ever had to deal with in my life, having a gun in my face and knowing that at any moment I could be dead.
Good.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage and bravery. And I give you a lot of credit. I admire you for it.
Thank you.
I'll be looking forward to seeing it, and I'll be looking forward to seeing the next one as well. Go ahead. And you've been involved with? Have you been doing some getting on other sets lately as well?
Just background work. I did a industrial commercial in Atlanta couple of months
Yeah.
ago. Um, I am a regular on a Christian TV series called Cycles. I actually play Barbara, which is the church secretary. I think that next year we're going to be doing season 6. So I came on season 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
I'm always looking for some way to get in front of the camera, but I honestly think that my strengths and my gifts are behind the camera and storytelling.
Hey, you find that out. I actually enjoy producing a little bit more than I do acting. No doubt about it. You know, that way, that's yours. That's yours. When you're acting, that's still somebody else's. But yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm really happy for you. I admire everything you're doing.
Well,
And you look,
I didn't know you were a producer. I should have come to you to begin with because I just did everything myself.
it's now the little distance. Yeah. You used to live down here where I'm at now.
Yes, I am originally from Florida. All us Cuban people are, from Florida by way of Cuba somehow.
Right on, right on. Yeah, we
So,
were just talking about that yesterday. We have a constant search for the Cuban sandwich, the Cuban sandwich. And it's like just when you think you find a good one, it's like, oh, somebody comes along. It's like, what an art.
well, I tell you what, the way to find out if you're going to get a good Cuban is when you go into the shop, smell it. If it smells like the most delicious pulled pork you've ever smelled in your life, that's clue number one. Clue number two is to go and ask them for a small taste of their pulled pork. If that doesn't make your mouth water as soon as you put it in your mouth, forget about it. Go on to the next one.
Wow. Well, hey, with your film, where do you expect we can see that, or is that still to be announced?
So I am actually trying to get it into the UK Film Festival. I was actually invited to submit Being Serial, which is a film that I produced, and I also I was one of the main cast. I'm actually the first female slasher to ever come on deck because it's always males. So I play the part of Norma Bates. I chose the name, of course. But yeah, so she is a cop, and she's also a serial killer. But I was thinking about maybe instead of that one, submitting Jayden because I think that it's just a better movie. It's not fiction. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's kind of both. It's like loosely based on real events, so to speak. And I'm sure that a lot of that movie, the way that I portrayed it, um, I'm sure there's a lot of women out there, men out there, and children out there that have gone through that. So even though it's loosely based on real events, it's kind of real.
Wow, that's awesome. David, do you have any questions for Natalia?
Um, no, 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 not at this time. I did see her in April, right, Ned? Italy? We saw each other in April in
And
S- in Sumter.
Sumter. April and
God's,
Sumter.
God's not dead.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. God's Not Dead 5. Yes,
Yes.
we did. Yes. That was awesome for me. Oh my God. So when I was 6 years old, when I was 6 years old, I fell in love with Scott Baio. The first time that I saw Chachi on Happy Days, I was head over heels for him. And I said to myself at, 6, one day I am going to meet him. And oh my God, I would love to be his wife. And then, of course, when he married Joni, which is Erin Moran, oh my God, I was so jealous. But my whole life, people have always told me that I have a very strong and striking resemblance to Joni from Happy Days. So the very first day that I was on set, I was sitting there talking to the casting director, and Scott Baio comes out of one door to go into another door. And when I saw him, it was like, just like laser vision right to him, right? I was like, oh my God, like the guy I've been in love with my whole life is like right there. Well, he actually he looked at me and kept walking and then stopped dead in his tracks and looked at me again and just stood there looking at me. And after that I was like, oh my God, I remind him of Aaron. And the whole day on set, um oh my God, my knees were weak. I was hyperventilating. I thought that for sure 2 or 3 times there I was going to have a heart attack and die. And then he comes and he stands right in front of me. I was like, oh my God. I'm gonna die on set today. You guys have no idea. You're gonna have to call an ambulance here in a minute. Scott Baio is right next to me, and then I get a picture with him. I I couldn't even like touch him. I was afraid to touch him because, but yeah, that was awesome.
Very cool. Hey, when you meet somebody like that after your whole life you've been in love with, you're probably like, did you talk to him? I mean, like at
did.
all?
I did, and I'm surprised I didn't die on set that day. I really am like, and then when he kept look, there was this one part where he's standing in front of me, and then he's looking back behind his shoulder, and he's looking at me dead in my face, and I'm just like, oh my God, I had to hold on to the table like one of the last few times that he looked back at me because I swear I thought I was gonna faint.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Gosh. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on, Natalie, and I want to commend you again on all that you're doing with your filming and exploring new avenues with it. I'm excited hey, we'll catch up with you again, and I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. And
Yes,
nice talking to you, Dave.
yes, it was great to see you, and I expect to see more on Facebook on your endeavors because I love seeing when my friends are doing what they're doing.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, you guys take care. I'm gonna
Hey,
go back
you,
to my editing.
hey, have fun. Very cool. Gosh. Well, Dave, it's been a good day. It's been a good time getting back for us.
Yes.
It's been a while. We'll do this more frequently,
Hey, it's fun. It's fun.
definitely. And please, everybody, please subscribe, like, hit your notifications. It really helps. The YouTube page, Just Never Know podcast. You just never know what you're going to see on our program. We like to promote our people, our friends. We could be talking about anything. We're going to just have multiple diversified guests on from here on out. Thanks again, everybody. Thank you, David. Thank you, my new producer, Ronnie. I appreciate it, Ronnie. Thank you.